First of all, welcome to the Patoki of Illinois channel. I'm Anna. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, subscriptions, and for supporting and helping this channel. I am deeply grateful to you. Let's see today what the time has come for. Check the signification, and if it resonates with you, then the rest of the reading will resonate with you as well. Think about your life. I'll shuffle the deck for now, and we'll do your signification, how the universe sees you. At this moment, the path you're walking on. You're doing pretty well trying to change a situation that happened in the past. But here it just shows, you see, the girl's leg is injured. This is the path where you got hurt. Is there something you don't like about this path? I hope your health is okay. But this card actually says more about some kind of rules. Maybe the rules of another person. He lives by his own rules. And you, communicating with him, well, that is, being on the same life path with him, have already suffered from this person's rules and beliefs. Or it could also maybe indicate some government institutions or state laws. Again, this also relates to rules. The reason I also mentioned health is because this could indicate a government building, and government buildings can sometimes include hospitals as well, I would say. But this card is very good. So at this moment, you already are. You can do it, I would say. The card says in English, slay them all. Remove all your barriers. For what purpose? In order to create some of your own rules. To live by your own rules. Maybe by rules that suit you better. But let's say if you take a state-run care home, if you apply it to your situation, for example, if you take a state-run home, it's still like being in a hospital or something like that. So solving the problem doesn't mean that a new leg will grow, right? I mean, something negative has already happened. You can't change that, but you can live by your own comfortable rules. It's the same story, for example. Maybe it's something related to banks or courts. Maybe with some corporate rules, work or financial matters. I don't know, something like that. So it doesn't mean that if everything that was there disappears completely, the thing because of which you lost something, let's say, some kind of resource, it doesn't mean that. So now you are ready. You are standing right here and now. By the way, I keep repeating that when there is a topic for the reading, the signification starts telling the story exactly about that topic. Right here, and here and now, the card says you have the opportunity to slay all the dragons. A dragon is a symbol of someone protecting what's theirs, in their own way. You feel uncomfortable there. Here we can already see that you have encountered this situation, or this person, or these people. Maybe they're bureaucrats, and you've suffered because of it. And now you have the opportunity to do things in a way that feels comfortable for you. Comfortable. Some kind of road. It's like you're standing on the road at the moment when you can win. Right here and now. And I think you've already taken some steps. An interesting card came up here. Either someone is helping you, or you're telling someone about it. So you don't have any more tears. Yes, there's an umbrella here. So, well, it could symbolize tears. Yes. So, if we're just talking about you, yes, when I tell someone how hard it is, how difficult it is. The umbrella is it means it's already in the past. It's not so hard anymore, not so difficult anymore. And look, now, let me say something else. If you are also helping someone else deal with something in this situation, then you are really on top of things already. This still doesn't change the fact that you were hurt by someone or by some situation. But if you've reached the level where you're already helping someone with something, offering them an umbrella, that's something else. You see, there are two people drawn here. Maybe it's for you. Someone offered you an umbrella, for example. You turn to a lawyer, let's say. And someone just gave you an umbrella so you wouldn't cry, meaning someone solved your problem. Or, look, a public institution, for example. You went to a doctor, and someone offered you an umbrella. Maybe they performed surgery, prescribed medicine, or something else. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's a psychologist, and you, for example, encountered a person with some terrible rules that make you suffer, and you can't accept them. For example, it could be a romantic relationship or something else. You turn to someone, maybe it was a psychologist or a girlfriend, someone who has already calmed you down, and now you can face everything with peace of mind. You can do anything. But even if you're helping someone, calming someone down, this card is really amazing. It might seem a bit tearful, but it gives you, what you give to the universe will give back to you. I couldn't put it any other way. Yes. So if you help some people, then someone will help you in some situation. Yes, it comes back to you 3 times over. Well, and if before you helped someone, maybe now you've been given a person who is helping you solve this situation, where you can. That's it, completely. In general, all good things come back to good people, and maybe even through other people. That's how I would put it. We probably should. Let's lay out a third card and see. Let's unpack this whole topic. Because, well, here it could be something government related. Well, it's something about rules. Whether I'm living the right way. Something connected to rules. Yes. Either governmental or human. And here it's about help in general. About help. And if you give this help to someone, the universe will definitely send you guides who will help you too, and maybe even something more right away. Here, look, this is what I was talking about. It's like the universe map appeared. Look how cool it is. And the card is actually called Universe. So what will the universe give you? It will give you resources. In the form of what? In the form of your wishes coming true. Well, maybe even an exceptional person. Well, a star person, meaning someone who is knowledgeable and skilled in a certain area of life. Or maybe the universe will simply give you the opportunities to walk this path and fulfill your wishes, your desires. And now I will read. I am still reading what you are helping with. Here, probably, it works more both ways after all. We never just stand still, right? It's not just for ourselves right now. Well, we have different areas. Maybe we help our children at home. And we need help with our health, right? And for the good things we do, we meet good people, doctors, or someone else, or friends. Or maybe we did something good at work, and that's why we have a good friend. I don't know, right? The universe gives us that. It gives to you the fulfillment of your wishes. And since this card came up after all, look, a 3 and a 1. The 3 is your personal resource. And the 1 is the magician. Someone can help, replenish your resource, solve your problem. Or yes, someone might give you knowledge. 3 plus 1, right? And you will be able to make strategic plans for, well, fulfilling some of your wish on Earth, right? Well, in general, the universe is giving you the opportunity to solve something right here and now. But, well, this needs to be clarified. Still, I think I'm right. I wanted another deck, but I'm holding this one again. Okay. Let's reveal it. A card flew out by itself. A man, some kind of pentacles-type man. A pentacles-type man can represent either someone you've known for quite a while, or a person, and I, following our mandate. Is something here related to this? For some reason, they showed the second person like that. And now they're showing another card. Look, they might be showing some kind of negativity. Something is either happening to this person or they're acting unusually. Something is going on. Some kind of harmony and balance is disturbed. It's disrupted, disturbed. Let's talk about you after all. Who are you? What are you doing here? You're going straight to wish fulfillment, right here and now. What are you doing here? We're revealing it, to be continued. Look at what the cards are saying. Here is a girl with a sword. And here the Queen of Swords appears. To be continued. You're cutting ties with a difficult situation from the past. To be continued. Make a decision. And you have to be a bit tough. That's how I would put it. Well, that's exactly the logic. Most often, of course, it's related. Most often. Or it's divorces, breakups. Or it's, actually by itself, it's still a career card. Or it's career, finances, money. Then it's a bank. Well, let's say if it's divorces, then it's court. If it's breakups, then it's rules. For example, a man who has his own rules that caused you to suffer. Yes, then you suffer because of his rules. Maybe it's some kind of stalker. I don't know. If it's not your husband, then it's someone else. Someone clearly got attached to you, right? There you go. If it's about your career, and most often it is about your career, then it could be your boss who doesn't pay you. Look, right? Pentacle cards. It came out reversed, right? Some kind of injustice. Again, something related to laws. Or maybe it's some kind of banking system. Well, if it's related to work, right? Or something bureaucratic. Some kind of bureaucratic one. Then I look for a card. Then I look for a card. Oops, and you've already turned it over. This is the previous card. This is hopelessness in the situation. You turned it over. You keep going somewhere. Look, you got hurt somewhere. And many people, right? They got burned by some situation. Or by a negative person. Well, it doesn't matter. Some kind of negative bureaucracy. And people say, I won't do it anymore. It hurts. It's hard for me. I have to spend a lot of money. You have to fight. Listen to negativity about yourself, about what I supposedly owe. And then they don't go anymore. But you keep going. A 6, the road ahead. The road you walk on without stopping. And you can defeat all the dragons. And you've already done it. That's why the universe will now help you fulfill your wishes, either by sending people your way or by giving you opportunities to use your talents. That's it. The stars, if they're not people, then they're your talents. And where you'll finally be able to use them, it's not for nothing that everything is limited, like, I'm not being allowed in. Now you've opened the roads. That's how hopelessness feels, and the suffering within it. Just like that. And look here, I also took a deck. It's astrological. Saturn restricts. Saturn, wherever I try to go, Saturn says, no, you can't do that. Or I won't do it that way. Or something else, depending on what's happening with you. Yes. And the person just sits there and says, okay, I'm suffering. That's it. Yes, just like that. Do you see what your Queen of Swords did? She says, no, no, no. I'm moving on. I open up, I recognize some swords, it's knowledge. I talk, I communicate, I don't stop. Let's say a bureaucrat told me something, but I find out how to do it differently. For example, maybe a stalker, some man, or an ex we're divorcing, said something like, I'll never give it to you. For example, everything is mine, you won't get anything. I'd rather pay lawyers, you'll be left with nothing at all. No, I keep searching, and you found it. This is to open the way. That's why you should wait for the right time, for your wishes to come true. Will they come true easily? I'm not sure. The Queen of Swords. Probably it means you need to talk, communicate, keep yourself together, either with information or something else, or, well, with something like that. People have their own strict rules, yes, or there are rules somewhere. What else? I will show you. We turned around some kind of dependent situation, and by doing so, we opened up new paths and stopped lamenting the past. For a while here, you were lamenting, maybe even shedding a tear. Loss of pleasure. Well, sometimes this indicates a slightly depressive state, But this is a reversed card. And look, it's reversed. Like this, it's the devil, see? The horns. The horns are up. That's the devil. And I'm dependent on this situation. I don't see any bridges, but you've already crossed them. You've crossed this bridge. That's it. You've come right to the moment when you can actually decide something. And this card turned over, and what does it become? Like Jesus Christ. That's the head. Those are the arms stretched out on the cross. But I'm standing firmly on the ground, right? I'm here, on earth, carrying my own cross. I understand that I'm not on earth for no reason. There are people who have different principles, different rules, who might, well, I don't know, criticize us, sue us, or something else, or deceive us. Because, well, they live with some kind of negative rules. Not in a Christian way, yes. In general, yes. Some inhumane ones. There are inhumane laws, even in the state. I don't know. Anything can happen. Yes, well, in general, you will get somewhere here. You've made progress. Yes, actions. Here they are. These actions have already been taken. Or maybe they really helped someone else. Because this is the princess, after all, of wands. She may represent your students or your children, that you have already passed on knowledge to someone. That's what I meant about the middle part applies to several people. People who couldn't cope with something. Someone was complaining. Yes, maybe their problems are completely different, not necessarily the same as yours, but you helped them in some way. Thank you. Well, or maybe these are just the first steps, already beyond the bridge. Basically, you've crossed some turbulent river of emotions, fear, and worries. You've already crossed it. And now you're even feeling it, standing in anticipation of pleasure. Well, let's put it this way. If you helped someone, then you feel good about it here. For example, most often this card shows children. This card about children came up too. Or maybe you helped your students or someone else, and you already feel good about it, and other people are enjoying it, or are you the one enjoying it? Or, if it's something you can already decide for yourself, then you already feel it, like a kind of inspiration. You already feel that you've crossed some kind of line, probably an emotional one, and now you see that there's just a little bit left to do. Yes, and I already feel pleased with myself for not giving up, that I didn't just sit there and cry, but kept moving forward. So, that's the story here. Then this is a card of creativity. That's it. I'm really looking forward to what? Using my talents. Creativity. Well, or talents. Maybe in a new way. This card represents a child. To use your talents in a new way. Or in a new place. You already want to create a new world. The card simply says that you may have inner doubts, whether it will work out or not, but the desire to act is already there. And there are always doubts about something new, yes. Always, even if you helped someone, whether they will succeed without your help or not, yes, you might have doubts. You're happy you helped and things are fine, but you don't know if they'll take action afterward. It's the same, for example, with children. You see, we've raised our children, helped them, but after that, we don't know. We can't live their whole lives for them. Of course, there are doubts. About what? About the future. About the future. There are doubts about the future, whether there will be any more obstacles. Well, it happens. We all live on this earth, and everything is always changing here. So, are there any doubts here? Or are there people who disagree with you? Or are there people here who support your victory? Or singers? Changes. Well, look, for you, there are some small doubts about victory. Or, if these are people, then most often it's usually men that show up here. Mars is right here. The symbolism of Mars. Or I doubt my victory in the future, well, through my own actions. Well, there are just doubts here, but here the universe is telling you that right here and now, you can make your dreams come true. But if these are people, then most likely it's a man. Or men, let's ask. Well, and here a man showed up. Oh. The card answered more broadly. I'm asking about a man, but you got the death card. Maybe it seems to you that he'll never leave you alone. Or maybe the person will never change, because the death card is ruled by Pluto. Here, this is the astrological deck, Pluto and Mars. The war between us will never end. That's why this person will never change. Well, that's okay. The person won't change, but you can change your own life. Stop communicating with this person, right? Well, maybe for someone on a global scale, then look, on a global scale here, according to your, well, according to your own. If it's not some man, right, then here you say, this war, well, maybe it will never end. There's always some kind of aggression, always some kind of negative influences, something pressing. As for Mars, it's just some kind of aggressive actions. You always run into aggressive people. And as for Pluto, that's about power. Power always suppresses everyone. Laws are always against normal people. Laws only get stricter. That's where the doubts come in. You understand, right? But what does the universe tell you? Here and now, by using your talents, you can make your dream come true. And even here, like I told you, this is how that dependence on the earthly works. The devil is just the earthly too, and it's real on earth. That's how it is. That's right. There are always aggressive people. It's never the case that everyone is good. Laws always work both ways. Some people are restricted, some people are given more opportunities. But right here, this card turned over. And look, this card then symbolizes Jesus Christ. Yes, who is the Son of the Divine, of God. Yes, who was here on earth, and we are also children of God. That means we must stand firmly on our feet and believe. Here is the head. The head is with God. It believes in God, even in the universe. Yes, with such a difficult life on earth, moving into the future is always hard. You have to go through all kinds of transformations. Something is always changing, then death. Something is always dying. Something is always pressing, suppressing, time. Laws, some rules, even rules at the DNA level. We age, time, yes. Something is always giving. But how did Jesus resurrect? He affirmed through faith, through faith. You may have doubts, but it's very good that even while doubting, you keep moving forward. Even while doubting, you keep moving forward. If you didn't move forward, remember what would happen? That's the certainty that breaks your heart, the feeling that nothing can be done. But for you, it's the opposite, meaning you are the opposite of that. That's what you've done, and I think you'll keep doing it. And here, the Nine of Cups card comes up. You will get what's yours. Here is Jupiter. It will give you material happiness. Material happiness is happiness on earth, not just somewhere in illusions. But here on earth, not just in dreams. And since you are walking on the earth, moving forward, yes. And there were some periods of hardship when you told yourself that it was so hard, that nothing could be done. No, you still keep going, even if you have doubts. So that's it. What? What kind of transformation is happening here? Your doubts here are just empty worries as the card turns over. And we are all afraid of new things. We are all afraid of death. We are all afraid to move forward. We always have doubts. But you will succeed if you keep doubting. But keep going. Doubt, but move forward. That's my answer for you. It's time to fulfill your wishes. Well, your own, that's right. Wishes, I said it correctly. Fulfill your wishes, don't doubt. That's what the time has come for. Thank you.
Для чего пришло время?
Well, here is the victory card, which you still have doubts about. Go ahead. On the victory card, what is it for? Thanks. What is it time for? And the Eight of Swords is turned over, convincing yourself that everything will be fine. Step outside the boundaries of your beliefs. Stop convincing yourself that nothing will work out, that it's so difficult. Well, it's really hard to do here on Earth. We're all dependent here. Yes, something will change. Maybe sometimes it's just beyond the boundaries, beyond the limits. Or, for example, I get some information. Yes, information again, swords. Right now, this information is not available to me, but I will get this information. That is, I stop. Sometimes a person ties themselves up like this because they're convinced that they can't step over these swords. But there are no swords. So the Eight of Swords often points to karmic beliefs. Yes, so it could be that our ancestors had karmic beliefs, or in the society we live in, yes, that this is not done, that it's impossible, or something else. Or maybe just some everyday ones. Yes. So what do you need to win at? To break free from limitations, to get out of what is restricting you right now. Sometimes it's quite literal, like if someone is actually going somewhere, moving, traveling somewhere, or doing something. Or it could be something to do with information here. It could be about conveying information in court, or conveying information to someone who has some terrible rules that are completely incompatible with you. Yes. Or maybe some authorities are restricting the flow of information, and you can't get something. Well, anyway, yes, look, that's how it is. Well, let's take it. Oracle cards. Show us what it's time for, right here and now, what you need to know. To get wings, to get karmic wings, to resolve some kind of karmic issue. And what's most interesting, look, from the tower. That is, what the time has come for is to finally reach where you are going now. To reach, to walk some path here, to cut down all obstacles and even fly out of this tower without wings. So this card is telling you, you never actually needed help. Wings are the help of a guardian angel or some good person who inspires you, convinces you. Maybe that's me, by the way. Yes, sometimes. Well, many people come to psychologists or tarot readers just to look into the future. Someone convinced them that they can make it and succeed. And here the card says, you never needed those wings. You never needed the help of a guardian angel. You didn't need the help of the universe. You could have done it even without that help. Or maybe you were afraid to cope without someone. Well, I don't know. Without a lawyer or without a doctor. Without someone. Well, it's interesting. The card says here that you never needed those wings to fly. To feel lighter. You never needed those wings. Fly to fly. Karmic flight. By the way, this card can also mean that you might be going through serious karmic problems in some other way. Wonderful. Let's ask why. So, I have this question. Well, anyway, I'll ask now. Why? Why? You didn't need wings. The tower keeps coming up again. Notice, there are towers all around. Well, on Earth, these are people who, look, before the tower, the 16th arcana, there's always the 15th arcana, people fall into dependency. Maybe the card is saying that you have never been dependent. Or maybe the card is saying that you could get out of any dependency. That is, there are certain people who can't cope with dependencies, or they don't even see them, don't want to, and don't believe. Yes. And you are exactly the kind of person who, like a crisis manager sometimes, yes, who can solve a problem that other people can't solve. Well, there are just souls, let's say. Souls of a higher order, or those who have incarnated on Earth for a very long time, or who were hierarchically in family lines. Well, more spiritual, I don't know. Yes, like guardians of the family, or even guardian angels. That is, you yourself were an angel to someone, so you don't need wings. You've already gone through that a long time ago. That is, it's impossible to reach such a hierarchical ladder until the soul on Earth learns to break free from dependencies. To quit, to booze, I don't know, yes. To stop lying. Well, all dependencies, at least the biblical ones, like greed, money, or putting money above everything. I'll kill or betray for money. That is, your soul has already gone through these lessons, these trials somewhere, and most likely it has already been on a higher, more hierarchical level. That's why on Earth, look, ordinary people, they fly, they fall, they get caught in dependencies, in the 15th arcana, and then they pray, right? Meaning, do not make an idol for yourself. Yes, well, idols. We sometimes pray to our partners. Like, here's this man, on whom our happiness still depends. Or here, this money, on which our happiness depends. Here it is, this house, our happiness depends on it. Here it is, this idea in the tower, in the head, yes. Only this way and no other. You don't have that. Can you overcome this here on Earth? Well, yes. There may be limiting beliefs, but you have most likely already overcome dependency. That is, from the 15th to the 16th, so that everything collapses. Yes, I mean like the body. Yes, this matter. For example, a person has become dependent and can't give up drinking, smoking, overeating, greed. I don't know, self-destruction, or 100 codependent relationships where we beat each other up, where it's hard for us, and the body is falling apart. At some point, it all comes to an end, and everything collapses. Yes, people lose their health, die, lose money because they get put in jail, because they steal, can't stop, or beat each other up. They can, well, you get it, right? They won't. So it turns out you can overcome some difficult karmic problems. That's what I wanted to ask, and we keep getting such difficult cards. So, most likely, you are a crisis manager who, like a teacher, helps others. When you help someone who has gotten into trouble, yes, these two cards right here are exactly about that. That there is someone who is less capable than you, and you help them. Thank you. So why? You could already fly. Well, I guess it's hard to believe, right, living on Earth, that I already am. I'm an angel, I can. I've already overcome everything many times in many lives. Well, here's why you can do this. Because you've already overcome some very rigid beliefs a long time ago, and maybe you've even overcome some illnesses. All right, let's keep asking the Oracle what the time has come for. To make yourself your main priority. And again, look at that. It's that castle with the tower again, becoming a priority. To pave some new path that is blooming. Well, flowers usually mean victory, a path with victories. Probably every step is some kind of small victory. When you make yourself a priority, eventually you get recognized. When you do things, maybe following some rules, everything by the rules, yes, so that even bureaucrats recognize it, or maybe to make a new path, if it's about relationships, for example, for someone after a divorce or a breakup, to make a new path, step by step, with flowers, where you win, where you actually like this relationship with your partner, with a man, yes, and to come up to the tower where you can live together and nothing is burning, where no one is defending their own interests. Yes, those moments when you're being killed, burned, on a crooked path, when you're burning in the fire of passion, yes. But if it's something financial, yes. Work-related, financial, career-related. Well, let's be honest. Not all of us have a career, but we all have things to do. We all have some goals. And really, to achieve any goal, you have to keep your emotions in check and solve problems. Then here, step by step, on this path, there will be some victories. Because you make yourself a priority. Yes, I want to achieve my goal. So, let's ask in another way. Let's elaborate, yes. What about you? Well, here and now, I don't even doubt it. Even if we look at the timing, here we have an 8, a 2, a 5, a 7, yes, a week. Let's take 10 days, probably. 2, 5, 7, that's 8, a week. What is it time for, right? How will you achieve victories? Well, or to learn something, that's the Princess of Pentacles. Or if you have students, to teach people, students, I don't know, your children, something good. You have some kind of responsibility, or you definitely need to invest money somewhere too. Yes, it's a responsibility, a duty. So, well, it turns out that the universe gives you an opportunity to do something each time. Or sometimes, if it's you as a student, to study something, to learn how to win at every step, to break down achieving a goal into small steps. Well, let's put it this way. If it's about men and relationships, it's probably just meeting someone, learning some new topic, and understanding that it's my responsibility. If I want something different, then I have to act differently, meet other people with different rules, study them, yes, and not just do things the same old way. Maybe to study, if it's something professional or career related, it's about learning, exploring new areas. It's your responsibility, yes, no one will do it for you. If it's financial, because maybe after all, it's a pentacle, maybe it's something with banks or real estate, the rules and laws we have there, well, yes, everything that belongs to us by law, by the rules, that's our responsibility. Then it's monthly expenses. Because with pentacles, with the Page of Pentacles, it's about the small payments we make all the time. So on this path, it's daily, daily. Even if you add more, there are some debts, or installment payments, or maybe you took out mortgages. Mortgages, yes. So, step by step, you will gradually come to the point where you pay, and the bank will transfer it to you, yes, and the documents will be issued in your name. Well, that's how I can read it. So, what else will this victory bring you? Peace. Well, making peace with important people, let's put it that way. Listening to their completely opposite opinions, being able to talk things out peacefully instead of immediately rushing into a fight. Peace to broaden one's worldview. The same card comes up again. To listen to different opinions, pluralism of viewpoints. Yes. For example, if it's bureaucracy, then to find out. If it's a new job, then find out more about it. What are the rules there? Yes. And to find a compromise specifically, yes. Well, the world may mean travel for some people, going somewhere. What else here will bring you victory? Step by step. Well, finishing some cycles that you started, not stopping. The world is also a cycle. I started a cycle, and here we are. Finish it. Then it will give a new expanding cycle. Well, one more card, and then we'll draw the last one from the oracle. What will it bring? prospects. And to acknowledge it, recognized authority. Here, look, recognized power. On your side and for you, that your power is acknowledged. If you acknowledge it, it's also a right, well, recognized power. Well, here the sun joins with Saturn. Recognized power, well, that's authority. The sun is above us. If there is authority above us, for example, state authority or a boss, that's authority. And they have the right to impose limits or some laws. Saturn's laws. Laws have the right, so we also recognize the rights of these authorities. So, for example, if I live on this land, then I have to obey. If I don't want to, then I should leave, right? Go somewhere else. But if I acknowledge it, then I will be accepted too. Then opportunities open up for me. Well, and then to acknowledge the rights of other people. If it's not about, well, here then the sun, it's men or children. That children have the right, let's say, to have their own goals. Well, if according to the law of Saturn they have the right to do this, then acknowledge them. That's how it sounds, right? And if they don't have the right, yes. For example, a child is small but already wants to get married, doesn't want to study, then according to the law, if you're responsible, well, yes, responsible, then you limit this. I have the right to limit this. Then you will be recognized, and opportunities will open up for you. Let's put it that way. All right, and now the last, the third card. What is it time for?
Take
Yourself out.
um,
In order to get what you want, you need to learn something to go out into the world. Well, for some people, it means literally going out, leaving, traveling, opening some new door. For someone else, it means getting some new information. And the card is easiest to interpret for women, of course, who want to get married. Go out and start meeting people. Say it out loud. It's called Take Yourself Out on a Date, meaning for meeting new people. If you want to get married, if you want to meet interesting people, men, then go out and meet them and start getting to know them. The world is huge. These trees are symbolic of lineage. Here are men with their families, a whole bunch of them. There are so many. Well, get to know a man, and he'll tell you everything. What family he comes from, who his parents are, how they live, where they're from, so that you can understand whether you should go there or not. Well, that's how it works in that case. But if, let's say, if your goal is still about the Queen of Swords, or it's your own goal, or maybe career ambitions, thank you. Then, well, also go out of the house and learn what's going on in the world. Get to know something new. Oh. Get to know. The world is rich. Get to know wealth. Get to know other companies that are wealthy, or pay more, or have different structures. There are other structures, other teams. Find out, like Mercury, yes. Organize everything financially, because here Venus is in Virgo. It's about the details. Sort everything out down to the smallest things. Put everything in order. Find out in accounting. Find out about people. Well, according to Venus. Yes, Venus. For example, find out from other people, from the teams who work there, how these companies pay. Yes, how everything works there. Basically, according to Venus, that's money. Mercury, basically, yes. Find out everything. Mercury will give you wealth. You need to divide everything thoroughly, not leave a single thing out, not miss a single detail. Talk to people from the accounting department in the company, and with people who work there, maybe read some reviews on websites. So that's basically it. That's how it is here. If it's about goals, if that's what you need, that's it. By the way, thank you. By the way, what is this? Wow, this is happiness. This is the Wheel of Fortune. I actually wanted to ask, could this be some kind of community? A community based on the Wheel of Fortune? Or do I need to go there? Look, it will make your dream come true, Jupiter. Jupiter will make your dream come true. And here is Jupiter. And here, look, on the other side, Sagittarius and Pisces. Jupiter favors Sagittarius, who can make the dream come true. It's about going somewhere, really. It's some kind of trips, maybe, or a community that will teach you. It's about learning. Learn from others how to earn, how to manage money, something like that. This is your happiness. What else is this? And about goals. About goals. The sun came out. Clarify everything. They will clarify everything for you about your goals. But you also need to clarify things. Because the sun is in Leo right now. But as for the goals, it's real. Close the door. But what about the sun? It closes the door to darkness. That is, the other side of the earth is darkness, which upsets us. It closes the door there. It goes out to where the sun is. And towards the goal. Yes, it talks about its goals. To whom? To some structured communities. To some structured, happy communities. Well, or actually take a spin on the Wheel of Fortune. For some goals, or for a career, right? And again, 4, 2, 6, 2, 5, 7, 8. It goes the same way for us. It's like you have some kind of week. You have some really happy time. The moon comes up for a whole month, probably. 28 days, a happy month, a happy cycle. The sun shows a cycle, and the moon shows a cycle. But the moon shows that it's also a very unsettling cycle. The cycle of your rebirth. Look, here is your dream, which you might still be doubting. Go there, because Jupiter will give you your dream. But you have to go, because this is the symbol of Cancer. The moon rules Cancer. To make it happen, yes, here you need to go through and understand who is a friend and who is an enemy. And to understand, you need to shed light. And here you are, reborn. Interesting. Still, probably a month. Well, that's what I'll say. At the very least. 8. Days that are very bright. 8. Very bright. Quite exciting. Where you can find your perfect happiness. To reap a good harvest. So I asked for these 8 days. 8 days. I asked, and the 4 of Wands came up. Perfection, harvesting, reaching an agreement. For some reason, it's about new actions. For some reason, there should be new actions, or new interactions. The interactions should be somewhat different. Well, this is the card of perfect happiness. Again, it shows society, a community. Direct your energy toward perfect happiness. Oh, 2 cards came out. A chance to harmonize everything. Here is such an interesting message for you. What is it time for? Well, for harmony. to harmonize. It will be nerve-wracking, though. That's how it is. You might even have to argue with someone. That's how it is. One more card. Ready? So what negativity? Let's ask what the negativity is. Well, with stubborn people, with outbursts of irritation. Maybe it's the Queen of Wands. The card just shows you know what you want. And that might irritate some other people. Because dreams can be incompatible. You know, there might be outbursts of anger, some kind of irritability. At first you act, then you realize, hastily. There might be haste, you're rushing too much, but it came up in the upright position. Hastiness. Just stop the anger. Well, stop the negative patterns, and there won't be any collapse. In general, stop the negative manifestations of the Queen of Wands when you take on too much and overwork yourself. For example, if it's some kind of financial goal, when you've taken on too much, well, any goal really, let's say for some reason, it's a financial one, that's just an example. When you've taken on too much, then you end up breaking your own back. Yes. Or when you argue just for the sake of arguing, it's time. I'll just say it simply. It was upright, but I'm focusing on the negative, which is why I mentioned it. There won't be a collapse, so leave it at that. When you're tired, let yourself rest. When someone doesn't want to listen, you don't have to either. Arguing just for the sake of arguing, just put a stop to it, and don't explain anything then, if that's the case. You never know, right? If that's even possible. Well, that's the story here. You'll succeed, even for the negative. A pretty good Wands card came up here. But any energy can turn negative for us. You just need to control yourself. Don't rush too much, and don't argue just for the sake of arguing. Well, I won't repeat myself anymore. This is the wonderful reading we got. Thank you for being with me today. Like the video, leave your comments. It won't take much effort, and it will make me very, very happy. See you next time. Subtitles.